God's attributes. God's attributes. Also on the web at clevercatholic.com. St. Augustine was walking on the seashore thinking about God's nature when he noticed a boy doing something strange. After filling a seashell with water, the boy poured it into a small hole in the sand. He did this several times. Augustine asked what the boy was doing. The boy said he was putting the ocean into the hole in the sand. That's impossible, he said. But then Augustine realized he was doing the same thing. He was trying to fit the infinite God into his finite brain, which is impossible. One can, however, make some reasonable assumptions about God's attributes. God has consciousness and identity. When confronted with the reality that the universe could not start itself or keep itself going, some might erroneously think that the universe was started by some mindless force. It takes a mind with intelligence to construct and maintain such an orderly machine. The universe's clockwork precision betrays the intelligence of its creator. Thus, God is a person. Since God is outside time and space, he is eternal. St. Augustine asked, what was God doing before the universe was created? The answer is, at the Big Bang, not only was the universe created, but time also began. Astrophysicists claim correctly that before the Big Bang, time did not exist. God is outside time. He always is. God has no origin. God's primary attribute, therefore, is existence. For just as the Father has life in himself, so also he gave to his Son the possession of life in himself. John 5:26. Furthermore, past, present, and future are simultaneously present to God. He sees us dead and buried already. He knows everything. God holds all things in existence by his will alone. Deism, which believes God started the universe but is now no longer involved with it, is wrong. By his very nature, God is unable to dissociate himself from his creation. If he did somehow forget about us, we would revert to what we were, nothing. God is omniscient. He knows past, present, and future. He knows the past, present, and future positions of every subatomic particle in the universe. Even all the hairs of your head have been counted. Matthew 10:30. God is infinite, so he knows all possible permutations of every event. Because he didn't subscribe to quantum physics, which is based on probability and uncertainty, Einstein famously said, God doesn't play dice. The answer is that God does play dice. It's just that the game is fixed. Them bones are loaded. God is all-powerful. Nothing can happen without God ordaining or permitting it. Apart from sin, the Almighty is responsible for everything that happens in the universe. There are no accidents. Moreover, because God is infinite, there is no distinction between his attributes and himself. If only my knowledge, for example, were myself, I should be knowing all the time simply by being. I should not have to make a distinct effort to know. I should never forget. Now, God's knowing is not subject to this limitation. It is not distinct from himself. It is himself. This applies to all his attributes. God is justice. God is mercy. God is love. Frank Sheed, Theology for Beginners, 1957. Most of all, God is love. 1 John 4:8. God loves us. How wonderful! His love is an infinite love. He cannot stop loving his creatures. If you were the only person on earth, Christ would have still suffered and died for you. St. Augustine. How could we not be filled with joy in knowing God loves us? Part of the response to acknowledging someone's love is to trust. Thy will be done. Jesus, I trust in you.